Hello everybody. I was just listening to WhiskyWhispers video about whiskies, and it got me thinking about the whole Irish stereotype that Irish people are all alcoholics and drunkards, and we're all happy little people going to the pub all the time, drinking, being merry. And this is not the case. So I just kind of wanted to address that and talk about alcohol in Ireland and just talk about the whole stereotype and what it's actually like. First, I'm going to talk about where the stereotype is completely false. First of all, not everyone drinks at all. A lot of people don't drink, and I want to stress a lot of people don't drink. And both my parents are pioneers, so they never have drank, and they never will. My nan is a pioneer. A couple of my uncles, they're not pioneers, but they don't drink. They have drunk in the past, but they don't now. And that's just in my kind of immediate family. My immediate-ish family. But there are a lot of people like that. I think this is a lot to do with the stereotype, because a lot of people reject the stereotype and do not want to be associated with that. So that is false. The people who do drink aren't constantly drinking. A lot of people do drink every week, but for the most part, people drink like maybe, I personally drink maybe once a month on average. Of course, there are some months that I've no parties going on. There are other months that I've more than one party going on, like this month in particular. But I'm an average person. I'm a very average person when it comes to drink in Ireland. So, yeah, we don't drink all the time. Some people do drink a lot, but those are just the extremists, and I think you'll get them everywhere. I'm trying to think of something else about the stereotype that's false. Oh, we're not all merry all the time. When people get very drunk here, they get very drunk. It's not a happy, merry, sing-song time. It's a falling all over the place, starting fights and getting sick in the toilet kind of drunk. Okay, that will lead me on to how the stereotype is true. And I think where the stereotype comes from is when we drink hard. And when I was listening to WhiskyWhispers, and he's talking about the whiskies and the different tastes and how they're made, and especially Jack Daniels, because that's the only whiskey I've tasted. But it was so taboo to me to think of sitting down with a glass of whiskey on the rocks or neat and just sipping it for the taste. I have never in my life done that, and I don't know anyone who has done that. A funny story about Jack Daniels for me is when I just turned 18, which is the legal drinking age, I didn't really know anything about drink at all. and my friend was like, oh, get this drink, it will have you drunk for the night, and all you need to do is buy one drink and that's it. And it was a double Jack Daniels, straight, neat, whatever. I don't know how to, I don't know the actual lingo. Basically, it was just a glass with 2 shots of Jack Daniels in it. But there was no even thought or mention of sipping on this. The only way to drink this was to chug it back. And that's what we did. We just chugged it. And you chug it as fast as possible. So it was really strange for me to hear WhiskyWhispers talking about the taste and that it's a mild taste. Because in my experience, Jack Daniels is not a mild taste. But then again, I don't drink whiskey and I drank it straight. But I hate the taste of Jack Daniels. I hate it so much. Probably because I drink it wrong and it gets me drunk, and it kind of gets me messily drunk. So when we drink the cheapest drink with the highest percentage of alcohol. I'm speaking in general terms here. Of course, there are going to be exceptions to the rule, but anyone I've ever spoken to drinks to get drunk. They don't drink it because they enjoy it. Unless it's maybe like a cocktail or something. Of course, they taste nice. But like if you're just going out to a party or out to a club, you drink to get drunk and that's it. How a usual night out here goes is when you're at home or if you're in your friend's house getting ready or whatever, you'll drink alcohol before you go in. I mean, this depends on what drinks you drink. Some people may have a few bottles of beer. I personally have some vodka because I drink spirits. That's all my stomach can really take. And then you go to a bar. So by the time you get to the bar, you're already a bit drunk. You go to the bar and you get more drinks. And then you go to the club and you get shots. And that's usually how it goes for a lot of people, I think. And basically the aim is to get absolutely polluted and to just not be aware of your surroundings. I was only talking about it with my friend the other day. It's a source of pride in Ireland to be so drunk that you can't stand, and the next morning you can't remember what went on last night. People talk about this in a funny way and they're proud of it, and that's just how it is. Like, you will talk to someone, a friend or something, and you're like, oh my god, I was so drunk last night, I have no idea what went on. I was so drunk, this happened and that happened, and I fell asleep on the couch, and all this, just completely boasting about it. Not even boasting, like, you feign embarrassment, but really you're proud that this has happened because it's a social thing and it's really hard to explain unless you're in the environment. But I suppose when you're young and getting drunk is like the cool thing to do. If you get so drunk that you can't stand, that just means you're more hardcore than other people. And it's funny that you drank that much, and it seems like it's a good night because that's just our culture. We drink a lot, and I used to always get really upset about the stereotype because I didn't drink before I was 18 really. But then the older I got, the more I realised that a lot of aspects of it are true. People do get very drunk, we do abuse alcohol, and it's a social, cultural thing. When we drink a lot, we drink hard, and we get very drunk. And it's not something that people are ashamed of. It's funny. It's, we'll always joke. Like, I think there was some drink that was banned in America. I can't remember what it was called, but apparently it was like a can of like energy drink and alcohol, and Irish people used to love that drink. I haven't been to America drinking like that, but it's common knowledge that when Irish people went over to America, they would drink this drink non-stop, and then they can't. The drink got banned or whatever, or got changed. They took the alcohol out or something. I don't know. But it's a joke. Oh, the Americans couldn't drink like us. They couldn't handle it. That kind of thing. That's just one small example, but that's kind of the general consensus, is that if you don't drink as much as us, you're not as hardcore as you can't handle your drink. That's kind of how it goes. And I mean, I'm not saying it, I'm not proud of this. I'm trying to be unbiased here. And I know that's obviously impossible to be unbiased because I am a young Irish person. But I have gotten into some situations where I was so drunk that just stupid things happened. Like, I broke my nose when I was drunk, I sprained my ankle when I was drunk, things like that. I had to be brought home, and that has happened to me a few times. Not a lot. I mean, I'm not an alcoholic by any means. I will only drink like I said, only like once a month or something. But I'm a very average person in Ireland, so I think pretty much what I do is what most people do. Also, people drink at a young age, like a lot of people do. Not all. I know this sounds like the height of snobbery, but I don't know how to say it, but it's kind of more the lower classes that drink when they're about 14 and 15. And they go to a field or a bush and they get absolutely polluted off their faces. Going to a disco or something, which is absolutely disgraceful, and there's absolutely no excuse for it. It's ridiculous. It really saddens me and angers me that they think it's okay to do this and they think it's cool, because it's not at all. And I'm not going to be unbiased anymore because I don't like being unbiased. I think it's stupid. The whole drink thing is stupid. I'm part of it. I can't be up on my high horse and say, oh, you shouldn't drink like this, because I get caught up in it as well. I get really drunk because my friends are getting really drunk. That's just how it is. But it's stupid. We're all stupid when it comes to drink in Ireland. We think it's cool to be absolutely off our faces, and it's not. But that's the culture we're in. So to sum up before I run out of time, we don't drink all the time. Not everyone drinks. We're not all in a pub drinking Irish whiskey or Guinness. I hate Guinness. And we're not all having sing-songs with little old men. Old men over here, if they're in a pub, are usually perverts. We do abuse drink. Well, my age group, I forgot to say that. It's my age group that I'm talking about here. I'm 20, so people around the 20 age and mid-20s kind of. We do abuse drink. We think it's cool. It's not. People drink very young. Not everyone, but a lot of people do. So, yeah, that's all I have time for. I could go on for another 15 minutes, but that's all I have time for. I'd love to hear what you all think about the Irish stereotype and drink, and how you all drink in your countries, because that's really interesting to me. And thank you to WhiskyWhispers for his video, and Whiskey also for inspiring me to make this video. Thank you all for listening. Sweet dreams.